Good grief. Okay, everybody. I'm live right now. I'm gonna go with the bald head, rocking with the bald head right now. This is the Streets is Talking podcast since the show is not back on. And I'm going to have a guest this evening as soon as she can get her shit together. Many of you all know her from the from the video of her dancing drunk. Take these glasses off because this is a glare. I'm gonna put my shit on because I'm pro-black. Many of you all know her from the video of her dancing in the park already because she's taking too motherfucking long. Some of you all know her from shit. Some of you, oh, she's here now. What the fuck is wrong with you? This is Jen Dent, everybody. How you doing, Jen?
Great. How are you? Oh, I should put earphones in, shouldn't I?
You don't have to put earphones in. It don't look like you comb your fucking hair. That's what it looked like. Why would you need?
I washed it. I did.
Wash it?
Yeah.
You don't have a fucking comb in your house?
I do, but it's really curly by itself. If I don't straighten it, this. You want me to go put it up?
No, not at all.
Okay.
How are you doing this evening? Jen just started speaking. We haven't been speaking. How long have you been mad at me that you haven't been speaking to me?
I really haven't been mad at you. I think it was just a joke, but then we just didn't talk. I wasn't mad at you though.
Anybody that knows me and Jen, first of all,
I'm going to put my hair up.
Jen became, well, how the fuck you just gonna come on my podcast and walk the fuck off? This is why we don't get along as it is. Look at that White House. That house is so white. I bet it ain't no seasoning in that house.
I got garlic. Okay, so no, but really, I wasn't mad. So I kept being like, it didn't feel that long to me. We will have to talk privately about the things that have gone on in my life. It didn't feel that long to me. I was just like, damn, I need to get with Thornell. Like, I really need to add Thornell back. But then life just kept happening. And then today I was like, I haven't seen him in a while because I thought about this video. And I was like, I really wanted, what's his opinion? And then I thought, shit. I totally never got back on Facebook with Thornell.
So for those that don't know that are watching, those that follow me on Facebook know that me and Jen go way back. So before I started doing my podcast, my radio show, before she became one of the Vine superstars.
No, that was not true.
we started we ended up meeting. I was it was the Michael Jackson funeral, wasn't it? The broadcast?
It was before that. We were in a chat room about if Jesus was real. And you were in there and your profile picture at the time was in the suit. And he kept being like, I really like your suit. And I don't know, it was just stupid. You know how we do.
Okay. Well, Jen is acting like a person of color, particularly black, because she was late as fuck tonight.
I didn't know that I needed Google Chrome. That I can't help it. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I had the problem with the person that I was with yesterday. Shout out to my man Maury. He's on dial-up, so when he tried to get on yesterday, he couldn't because he was using my fucking Internet Explorer. That shit wasn't working. So we had to go
share this, or can people watch it afterward?
No, this is live. You can share this afterwards. Either you could download the actual video and put it on your page, or you can just once the broadcast is stopped, you can just go to the page, to my YouTube page, and get the link and share it on your page.
Okay, so it'll be up after the fact, it repeats.
After the fact.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you should be tagging them so they can watch it right now, motherfucker.
I can do that, but walk me through it.
Jesus Christ! In the lower right-hand corner of your MacBook,
okay,
you'll see the name of the show, which is Video Podcast Episode 2, and under that there will be a link.
Huh. I don't see the link.
Click on the link. Click on where it says links. It says 2 viewers, and then it says links, and then you can post that on your page.
That's not what it says, though. I only see my face in the bottom.
Oh, so Hold on, I'm gonna send it to your Facebook page. Your funky ass.
Okay.
Okay, I just. Oh no, not that one. Not that one. No, not that one. That will be. We'll have motherfuckers jumping in and out of this motherfucker like shit.
But no, I don't have dial-up. But no, I was like, oh shit, I need Chrome. Oh shit, because I don't have it, so I had to download it.
Jesus Christ.
And yes, I live in the middle of nowhere, so. For
some odd reason, it's not showing the live version of this. This is y'all gotta excuse us because we gotta figure this shit out. Start hang out on air. Yeah, I'm doing that right. Yeah. It's like we're already on air. Hold on, we're live. We're fucking live. We'll be able to find the link in a second. I
got it.
You found the live link?
Yep. We're live. All right, I got it. I'm gonna share it now.
Okay, because we fucking up right now because we doing too much motherfucking talking. This is not good. We need to be talking about the shit we're gonna talk about. Okay, so it just so happened that Jen was missing her resident black person. And she was looking for my
opinion. I felt like I wasn't woke enough. You know.
Wasn't woke. White people can't be woke.
Well, I'll try to be as woke as I can. I can't be completely woke. I know that.
So what happens is white people experience this thing called white guilt.
Yeah.
And people like Jen, she experiences it a lot. So y'all gotta excuse her. I'm still trying to figure the fuck out what the link is to the page. I know what the link is to the page. I just don't see the fucking link to the page. So that's Maury talking. I didn't want to fucking talk about him. Okay, so we'll figure this shit out. So let's get into it. There's a video out right now that Donald Glover, or AKA Childish Gambino, if you know who that is, he put out a video called This Is America. And it seems to be having people. Oh shit! I see myself. Y'all gotta excuse him. I'll be talking and posting this link on my page. He put out a video called "This Is America" that has a lot of messages in it. And just like on the plantation, white people trying to figure out what the fuck the message is because it doesn't resonate with them, and it's really fucking a lot of them up. So. Jen Dent, being the investigative reporter for white people as she is, she's trying to figure this shit out. And, how many times have you watched the video, Jen?
Probably 23 or 24.
That is fucking hilarious. I've only seen it like 2 or 3 times. It's not that fucking serious to me.
I know, right? I know.
So,
But I do, I know we're going to laugh and everything, but I have questions. I do have questions. And not about the video. Well, maybe a few about the video, but actually, what's the problem here? You know what I mean? He put it out. We're supposed to watch it, but then, we're not supposed to. So, or we're not supposed to talk about it. So that's what I wanted to talk about with you.
You want to talk about what you're not supposed to talk about. See, again, she's poor white people. I mean, listen, white people. That'll watch it because I know a lot of Jen's fans are watching.
I don't know. Is anybody watching?
What's that?
Is anybody even watching it? I don't know.
We got 4 viewers right now. We definitely got 4 viewers, and it's gonna pick up in a second because I'm about to add a lot of black people here.
Oh God.
Yeah, because white people, and they gonna tear your ass up when you say something stupid.
Okay. I mean, I just want to know. I seriously I have so many questions and stuff to say. Okay,
fire away with your questions. What questions do you have regarding the video?
My main question is, and give me a sec. Okay, so I understand that I don't know everything I should know. I don't understand everything I should understand. But when he puts out a video like this, then I watch it and I'm trying to understand all the references that are going on. And I knew that pose he did with the gun at the very beginning looked very familiar.
Pose.
It looked very, very familiar to me. But I was like, oh, okay, I know that pose. And I thought oh, that's Shakespearean or something. I've seen that. That so I kept watching the video to try to understand the different things I saw. But then when you see Black people online making fun of us for trying to understand it, it feels weird because it's like, well, but I'm just trying to understand it.
Okay, I could tell you why Black people are why many Black people in most instances are laughing. Okay. It's like when you all taste our fried chicken,
right?
And you want the recipe, but you really don't know how to ask for it. So you try to figure the shit out on your own. That's why
like watching us online, like if we were on like a cooking page, like trying to figure this out without asking you.
Right, figuring it out without asking. So that's why a lot of times, because the even though the video is for anybody to view, the message is basically, even though he's saying this is America, he's basically rapping about and providing images and subliminal messages that generally Black people will catch on to.
Yeah, because there was so much. Like I said, even that pose. Then today I realized that was Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor. And the facial expressions he was making were a lot of the
oh, I caught the eyeball because of you.
The images of the minstrel pictures.
Well, Uncle Ruckus, you used to post all. Is that his name?
Uncle Ruckus. Well, not necessarily. He's not necessarily posted Uncle Ruckus. There is a picture of a minstrel of like a lawn jockey
with one eye open and one
right.
Okay,
that is the face that he was actually making,
and that's what I'm saying because I live in a very southern area, and I've seen those lawn jockeys, and you know, so I'm saying like, and I've seen. It's no telling what I have seen, and it's in here.
It's in your subconscious, and
because when he did the Jim Crow pose, I was like, oh my God, you know, but like I couldn't really actually say that was Jim Crow. I just knew I had seen it before.
You had an indication. You knew you had seen it somewhere before. And what he's done, which is quite brilliant, is tap into these images that are embedded in the minds of Black people. And the more you watch it, the more you pick up on. Most of those outside of our community wouldn't pick up on it right away because it's not something that they really had to see. So with the Richard Pryor pose, when he's like this, we know that, I think that's from the album Come of That Nigga's Crazy. I think that's the
I looked it up today, and he's posed in front of the American flag in different ways. That was like that was the one that your eye was drawn to. You know, right? So it must have been the most iconic one that he did that has gone through the years. But my question is, if we're looking at it rationally and like just factually, not rationally, factually, none of us were here when those image, like the Jim Crow image. So what made me see it and not be able to place it, but you could? Because those things aren't up. So was that taught to you, or like did parents show you that and be like, this is the type of stuff they would circulate about us, or what? Because I don't understand. That's the part I'm having a hard time understanding, is how when he hit that pose, I knew something in my whole body, even before he fired the gun. You know what I'm saying? Is the minute he struck that pose, I was like, what the fuck is this shit? You know, I knew it was something, but I couldn't quite place it. So
it's something that you've seen. It's something you've seen that your mind automatically made reference to, because you know how subconscious works.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll see some things and our subconscious will pick up on things that our eyes don't.
But you know, it was Jim Crow. Like the minute he hit the pose, were you like, oh my God, Jim Crow? You know what I mean?
It triggered something, because who poses like that to shoot somebody?
Right. And another thing is, well, that could have just been, that's video magic, but he didn't have the gun in the back of his pants when we were watching him dance.
Right. And when the person sat down and started playing, he wasn't covered with a hood and tied up or nothing. So that's just the magic of the video and the way it was shot. But a lot of those images are just things that we've had to grow up, like with the shooting of the choir. You know what that's about. I mean,
actually, I'm going to be honest. I did, I knew that the Charleston shooting happened. I mean, but see, the whole video's about this because I knew that the Charleston shooting happened. But then when I saw the video, it didn't compute because I done forgot about that. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what the video is about.
It's like if somebody would make a video. It would be like if somebody. What the fuck?
Are you on dial-up?
No, I'm on file. That's your raggedy.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. I have good.
Jesus Christ.
It's good. It's good.
It's good now?
Yeah.
Okay. So you say. But it's like if a person maybe 50 or 60 years from now made a music video and they had an airplane going to two towers and it'll crumble. Even though it was 50 years in the past, we'll learn about it in history and then we'll go, wait a minute. That's part of American history. Our brain will actually pull that information from our subconscious to know he's trying to tell me something. Well, Black America is the same way. We have certain images in our mind that he knew that these images were going to pull out and pull to the forefront.
That's the best way. You know what? That was perfect because your history has not been your history. How can I put this? I know exactly what I want to say, but your history, we haven't all been taught that. It was only mentioned, or we were taught about the Civil War and stuff like that. But if we wanted to delve further into it, then it became like, oh, you're a social justice warrior, blah, 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 because we were just taught like facts, like slavery existed, boom. This happened, boom. But your history is different. And so, but as the country has progressed and civilization, we were all there for 9/11, but we were not all there for slavery, if that makes sense.
Well, so that period of American history is an eyesore.
Yeah.
Turn volume down.
My volume? Okay.
This shit is raggedy. Thank you.
Okay, I'll put earphones in. Hold on. Let me put earbuds in. Sorry, wrong way.
Oh my God.
No, but that makes perfect sense. I'd never thought about it that way. That better?
That's much better.
Okay,
thank you.
Good.
Your signal in your house. I mean, do they have internet out there where you at?
They do, but I mean, we're way behind.
Okay.
You black people.
Yeah, that's good.
Where all the white people live.
American history, it doesn't quite. Because if you really told American history, and this is what I'm about to fuck with white people, if you really told American history according to how it actually happened, white people, y'all done some really rotten shit to every people of color, even to each other.
I mean, we actually stole the country. Like I know that I'm coming across like, oh, I'm on Thornell's. I have to be the apologetic white person.
No. I'm not even expecting. I don't even. But see, this is what me personally. Don't be. Let me put this in a way because I know people will be calling me a coon in the morning.
I mean, there's like.
It's not really. It really doesn't do anything when because I saw somebody calling you an ally.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Right.
Fuck being an ally. I don't need you to be an ally. I just need you to be a decent human being.
Well, I think that's what they meant. They just were.
I know what they mean, but words. We gotta be careful because an ally not necessarily has your best interests at heart. They are actually. A lot of times, sometimes, most times, however you want to say it, they're actually allied with you because it's in their best interest, not necessarily because it's in your best interest. And the only thing that we would need, people of color would need allies to do is just be decent people and call a bullshit like they would. Like the people in the Starbucks.
Yeah.
I don't need allies in Starbucks. I just need you to say, hey, that's some bullshit y'all doing. The man was sitting down, they wasn't doing shit, and here it is, y'all fucking arresting them for nothing. I don't need an ally. I need you to call out bullshit when you see it. Just plain and simple. I don't want you to put no labels on it. I don't want you to put nothing. And the video is pretty much, it's introducing America, and particularly white America, to some of the things that Black people go through. And it's reminding Black people that most of everything hasn't changed. It's just morphed into something more different, maybe a little progressive, but it's still the same. You know, slavery, chattel slavery is gone, but I mean, you still have slavery in jail. And who's the biggest occupants of jail? Mm-hmm. You have slave patrols who went out and, you know, captured slaves, which morphed into the Ku Klux Klan to terrorize Black people, to now our modern day police force who act really in the same interest as their predecessors. So I don't necessarily need an ally. I don't. I just need you when bullshit happens to call it out. And I need you not to be fucked up. If more people would make it a point not to be fucked up and to call out bullshit, things probably can start to actually progress. But you can't keep putting your finger in the dike, in the crack in the fucking dam, and think that you're going to stop this flow of water. It's just not going to do it. So until people are ready to face the legacy that this country actually have, nothing really is going to get better. Nothing really is going to change. And I think that's part of what the video is saying in trying to address white people, while you all are doing so much to try to figure out what's going on. Because the video is fucked up. I'm going to tell you, I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, okay, it's some shit that I had to watch a couple of times, be like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, I get it. It's like some shit you just not going to get. And now you'll have those that profess that they're so woke and they're so, you know, in tune with what's going on that they got it, which they're fucking lie. Because the only people that knew that what Donald Glover was trying to say was Donald Glover. Mm-hmm. That's the only person who knew it off the break. So everybody else that's coming along, I mean, they're discovering things as they watch it more and more. It's just like watching a Marvel movie. You see a lot of Easter eggs. Mm-hmm. Easter eggs that are references to something else that might be included in the movie, that might be coming in the future movies, that might be referring to past comic books or whatever the fuck it is. That's just what the video is. It has a lot of Easter eggs in it, and sometimes you have to go back and watch it over and over and over again to get it. But white people stop. You can't fix a bullet wound with a Band-Aid. And unless we're really going to really sit down and address issues in this country, don't expect the shit to get no fucking better. It's just not. And I'm a realist. I would love to send my children off into a world where they won't have to be subjected to the same shit that I was. But I'm a little more realistic. It's just not subject to change because people have to give up a lot. People have to give up a lot of privilege. People have to give up a lot of advantages that they have naturally in this society. And do you really want to? Fuck no. I mean, you don't want to see people fucked up. But if it comes down to them versus me, guess what? They got to get it. And that's what essentially it is. So
my thing is like, okay, so you're gonna have to put headphones in. I can hear myself.
You can hear yourself?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. It's just see, I didn't have this problem yesterday because black people got good shit.
I'll be right back. He gonna get mad. He gonna start yelling.
No, I'm not.
No, I'm coming right back.
I'm not high right now. I'm gonna be high later, but I'm not high right now. You all late and shit.
Okay, so my question is, you say, all right, you need me to be a decent human being and not be fucked up. Do you mean, okay, I'm not being funny, but does that mean basically the same thing? Be a decent human being, don't be fucked up. Does that
Yeah, that's basically
okay. So you tell me I need to do that, but like I'm having a hard time understanding because like if I do something, I feel like I'm doing too much. But if I don't do anything, you know what I mean? It's like,
well, it becomes when you
like we're trying too hard,
you're
or
trying too hard and it becomes disingenuous. Now don't get it twisted. It's some people out here.
I mean, yeah.
No matter what you do, no matter what you do and how you do it, they're not going to be satisfied. It's just some miserable ass motherfuckers out here in the world, particularly on social media, that's just looking to drag someone. Okay. So you're not going to be able to satisfy those people, and you shouldn't even try because they're a bunch of miserable motherfuckers that ain't going to be satisfied anyway. Right. What has to happen is there has to be a shift in the mentality of not just us as Black people, because we do need to change our mentality on a lot of things. But there also has to be a shift in white people. Okay, it's simply not enough. And I'm going to try to put my words together so it makes sense. It's simply not enough to acknowledge the fact that, okay, the country was stolen. We have all these advantages. We've taken advantage of all these people. It's not enough to do that. That's why a lot of people, you know, they made a big deal about Bill Clinton apologizing for slavery. What the fuck is that going to do?
I mean, he can't personally apologize for slavery anyway.
He can apologize on behalf of the American government, but if that's not attached to anything substantive, then it really don't mean shit. Empty words don't mean anything.
Right.
So my thing is like, okay, we get it. There are decent white people out here who pretty much acknowledge the fact that things are fucked up and been fucked up to this point. How do you change that? You got to change the culture. You have to change what you see. It's basically empathy. Put yourself in another person's situation. And if you put yourself in another person's situation, would you want to be subjected to what they have to deal with on a regular? And if you're not willing to exchange, it's like a Chris Rock bit. He says that, you know, there isn't a white person in this room that would trade places with me, and I'm rich. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So if you know that I wouldn't want to be in that person's shoes, then there has to be a systematic change in how things happen. And I don't need nobody, you know, apologizing and feeling bad, because one thing that doesn't do is that does not remove the chains that my ancestors were bound by. That's not going to change that. I don't need no fucking apology. I need changes. Right. I need changes to the criminal justice system. I need change to the wealth gap. I need change to, like, you see a lot of people like Trump and shit talking about the violence in Chicago. Are we really addressing that, or are we just using it as a talking bit? Because nobody just
he does as a talking bit. Like,
yeah, it's used as a talking bit because of course, you know, I'm from Chicago. And do we really, first of all, do we know any fucking thing about Chicago? If you're not from Chicago, then you have to learn about Chicago some way. So where you get information? And
my only information has been there once, and it was wonderful. I'm sure I experienced none of the actual.
Right. Here's the thing that a lot of people, you know, you hear about Chicago, you hear about Chicago violence. So let me put this little.
You do hear that a lot. Why?
60% of African American men in Chicago from the ages of 16 to 30 are unemployed. Just don't have no fucking jobs. Now, there's a lot of things we can ask why they don't have no jobs, why they don't look for no jobs, because we always try to, in this country, we fault the victim. Mm-hmm. But when you look at that fact, and then you look at this heavy influx of guns in Chicago, like everybody has one, and there isn't a truck that just drove up on the south side of Chicago and start passing out guns.
Right.
They're buying these guns. They're able to obtain these guns. How the fuck is a city that doesn't have a single gun store within the city limits?
That's what I'm saying. All this gun control shit. Like, how do you fix it? I don't have an answer. Like,
you have to ask the right questions. The questions can't just be on the surface of they're killing each other. Okay, why are they killing each other? How are they getting these tools of death in their hands under the circumstances when it's a poverty-stricken city? Contrary to popular belief, a majority of the black community and the Hispanic community in Chicago are barely living above the poverty line, if they're living above the poverty line at all. Unemployment of African-American men is at 60%. Yet you have guns, you have ammunition that can find their way into the city, into the hands of these unemployed, undereducated black men that end up killing and shooting each other. So if now we have to ask ourselves, where the fuck are these guns coming from?
That's exactly right. It's like they talk about all this gun control. They talk about like the whole gun discussion. I get so frustrated because I don't think there is an answer, because people are going to get guns if they want guns.
I like guns.
I have two right there in the drawer over there. You know,
I like guns. I like responsible gun owners.
Exactly. Mine's in the drawer. You know what I mean? I'm not.
But again, it's social engineering. You create a situation that you help foster a situation that you make people poor. People that are poor, that have limited resources, are going to find them resources. And then you make the alternative. How are they going to find their resources? Violence. What's the best way to use violence? Guns. Okay, now we got to get these guns in their hands. Now you got to ask the who's, the when, the where, the what's, the whys. And nobody is really talking about, they're addressing the violence. We're going to go and we're going to lock Pookie up. But we're not going to even address how guns are coming through the shipyards, and these ships, these shipyards and these freights that are full of guns. How is it that if you've ever been in Chicago and you look at the rail yards, thousands of freights come through there a day? How the fuck does anybody know which one has the guns on them? Because that's a lot of times where they're getting them from. They go into the rail yards, they pop in the locks on the freights and open them up. Boom. It's AK-47s, it's AR-15s, it's Glock 17s on it. They getting the guns that way. So why are we asking the question of where these guns coming from and how the fuck are people who are fucking poor getting access to guns? And it's just, there's a lot that's going on in this country that those that are in a privileged position, and I won't say privileged position, but just basically white folks, that a lot of white people speak on a lot of shit because their life is simplified. They don't have to deal with the complications. They don't even know what the complications are. And it becomes, well, you niggas don't want to work. Well, all y'all are, y'all just violent. Y'all make kids and don't take care of them. All of you on welfare. It's just a simplified thing to say to make yourself feel better and make yourself feel superior. And white society in America is founded on a superior complex, a superiority complex. They feel like they're better than everybody else. And they have this inherent thought that the Mexicans are the way they are because they're that way. And the Asians are the way they are, they're that way. And the blacks are the way they are, they're that way. You know, we don't make no excuses when we do something fucked up. When our men are the #1 mass shooters in the country, it's always something, you know, they mentally disturbed, or they were loners, or you know, I go out and I shoot 17 people, you know, they gonna talk bad about everybody, including my mama. So it's just you gotta ask the right questions. And this is to the white people, not particularly but you, because you fucking useless to me. But you have to ask the right questions. You know, this is probably profound that white people are hearing. Damn, 60% of African American men in Chicago, ages 16 to 30, are unemployed, but yet they can get their hands on an AK-47.
But they would, but I see what they would say that they probably are too lazy to get a job, or they're just too violent, and so that's why they have the guns.
Hold on one second. Yes. Go get into bed. Good night. Daddy shit. Yeah, they would say that they're lazy, but okay, if you're gonna say that they're lazy, then point to me where all the jobs are in Chicago.
Yeah, but see, they're not doing that research. They're
not going to do, because again, it makes them feel inferior. I have a job because I went out and my white ass went and looked for a job and got a job. So you can't possibly have a job because you looked. You couldn't have looked. You have to be unemployed because you're lazy. Another little known fact about people in Chicago. I don't know if the law is still in effect, but when I came home from the military around somewhere between 92 and 95, they had a job. They had a law they call the McLaughlin Act. And the McLaughlin Act stated that anybody that were working on a construction site in the city of Chicago through the union had to hire people within the city, within their community. And construction companies violated that all the time. They always had people outside of the city that come in and work that didn't live in those communities, that, you know, pull money from their communities and they left. And I was a part of an organization called Chicago Black United Coalition. And we would go on the jobs and we would shut the construction sites down in order for them to hire people from within their community. That's the shit we had to do. You have the Community Reinvestment Act, where banks are supposed to take money. Banks that are in a community are supposed to take the money from the people that they service in that community and reinvest that money in community. So a Bank of America that's in Southeast DC that's taking money from residents in Southeast DC who are their customers, they weren't lending the money to people that live in Southeast DC, but they were redirecting those funds to people that lived over in Georgetown. And this is systematic shit that goes on that if you don't pay attention to it and if you don't even at least research it, you'll never know what's happening. You'll just sit in your motherfucking house, drinking your Budweiser, eating your mayonnaise sandwich, and saying that the niggas are lazy. No, nobody is lazy. There are systematic things that are put in place where people are socially engineered to be fucked up and be footstools for people that are standing on top of them. And that's what that video was about. That video is showing that, hey, these things are still in place.
I mean, I have to
go
say,
ahead,
Whitey. I'm going to reclaiming my time. I would just like to say that, I mean, it is getting harder for even me to maintain. So I can't even comprehend what it's like for somebody with no higher education, no actual career to try to even find something. It's just, why is it getting, everything, it's just getting harder. I thought it was supposed to get better. I thought we were making America great again, but I don't see it.
You don't believe that. Let me just tell you all something. Jen Dent is not a Trump supporter.
No.
She didn't vote for him. She just threw that out there because I know people would drag your motherfucking ass across the goddamn planet with that shit.
I'm being sarcastic. I thought we were making America great, but I have not. And other people will swear they have seen such great changes and so much more money and so many this and that. And I'm like, my life feels that it's getting harder. I mean, it just feels like it's more difficult to make that dollar stretch to where it's supposed to go. And nothing has changed. I mean, as far as my bills go. So I don't understand. Well, insurance went up. Health insurance went up for me. Is it going down for other people? Am I like the catalyst? What's going on? So my point, that was a very long way of saying that, like, I have a hard time. So I can't imagine what it's like for people with no degrees and no, no
it's redirection. Here's a movie I want you white people to go watch. It's a movie with Matthew McConaughey called The Free State of Jones. And what it is, it's about a community of escaped slaves and Confederate soldiers who deserted the Confederacy, fighting in the South, and what I discovered in that movie, it shined a different light on the Civil War, was that wasn't a lot of that wasn't about rich and poor for a lot of the Confederate soldiers. I mean, black and white for a lot of Confederate soldiers, because a majority of those that fought in that war didn't own slaves, didn't own land, and were dirt poor. And the whole premise of the movie with Matthew McConaughey is that, look, we niggas too. Basically what he said was, we niggas too. We fighting for plantation owners, and we ain't got no land. We ain't got no this war really about. And one of the things they did was one of the tools they used propaganda to make poor whites to feel like they were more superior than the slaves. And this is a technique that still goes on today. You have a lot of people who are Trump supporters who simply want to feel like they got someone in the corner in the White House that's on their team. They're saying the shit that they want to hear, not realizing that he don't give two fucks about you. With the biggest thing that he's accomplished in his office that he's tried to do is that tax bill, which does not positively affect us.
No, it does not.
It does not positively affect us. And he's tried to dismantle anything. I mean, he keeps people distracted by saying that, I'm dismantling everything Obama did. But Trump pretty much has shot his load. He don't give a fuck about much of nothing else. Now he's just trying to keep this Russian investigation off his ass, but he's done what he's supposed to do. He's done what he was sitting in there to do, which was to get a tax break for the rich. If you notice, everybody that voted for that tax break that's been in Congress for a while, all these motherfuckers are leaving now. Mission accomplished. Mitch McConnell ain't left, but he ain't announced his resign. But Paul Ryan, he's about to leave. Yeah. A lot of them are deciding that, it's time for me to, to be with my family. Motherfucker, you've been in Congress how long? Your kid's grown. Get the fuck out of here. If your son's 16 and you've been in Congress since he was a child, now all of a sudden these last 2 years are so fucking crucial. No, you got the tax cut that everybody wanted. You're going to leave Congress. You're going to either get a lobbying job, one of these big ass firms making 8 to 10 figures. And that's what the fuck you was, that was his entire goal. They don't give a fuck about Obamacare no more. They're not even motherfucking trying to dismantle that anymore. They're not trying to cut Medicaid, and they're not trying to cut Social Security. They've done what they always wanted to do. And people need to understand that, at the end of the day, you give a fuck about your white ass. You ain't got no money to donate to them to make sure that their kids are able to go to the best schools and to, go to their fucking country clubs and shit like that. They don't get two shits about y'all. And the sooner you all accept it, sooner you all accept it, you stop falling for the bullshit.
Well, I didn't vote for this motherfucker, but I mean, it's just.
You voted for that motherfucker. Stop playing. Stop lying, Jen.
Who? Trump?
54 to 56% of white women voted for Trump. You was in there. Stop lying.
I swear. I didn't do it.
Don't y'all believe that shit. If you come across a white woman, she voted for him.
It wasn't me.
So, considering that you were late, you fucked up my whole vibe. What the fuck else is going on? I see the same the same crew. Hey, all you white people, I'm just as racist as I used to be.
I know you're very, very racist, and they don't understand our friendship, but we've been friends for over 10 years now. So that's a long time.
They can get the fuck over it. But no, I saw that Transformer. What's his name? The strong face.
Transformer. No, don't. You're not gonna do this. No.
The Transformer. No. Who is that Debbie chick that was talking shit?
That's
I know she
really
watching.
Good friend.
She's a really good friend.
Yeah, she really, really is. Yeah,
she's not white. Oh, she is. Because look at she was pasty as fuck.
But people just don't understand you, and you know that. And I'm used to like people not understanding me either. So she just, and I have to say that not everyone has to understand either one of us because we can both be motherfuckers. So
yeah, I don't care.
Y'all just didn't mix. You know, it's cool.
I normally don't mix with. This was a serious subject. Oh God.
I know. I have to pee. I'll be right back. Do you want me to put buns on? I'll be right back.
The dog's still alive?
Yeah, she's 10.
Ain't that a bitch? Buns is old as fuck.
She's not. Well, she is, but she's not. She can't hear. I'll be right back.
Get a deaf dog. Well, while I have you white people here, just know you all are the scourge of the earth. I have there's a situation here in Prince George's, well, not in Prince George's County, in Montgomery County, where a white dude who trained law enforcement out there in Montgomery County or Howard County, whatever the fuck it was. He was beating on his wife, threatened her. She left out, run next door, and he go next door and kill everybody. Why white men so? Why don't we address the elephant in the room? Why are white men so fucking entitled and violent? That's what I don't understand. Y'all shoot up movie theaters. Y'all go and shoot up churches. You shoot up schools. Y'all shoot every motherfucking body. What the fuck is the problem of white men in this country? I mean, I don't feel safe around them. When they walk in the elevator with me, I clutch my wallet. I push up in the corner. White dudes scare me now because I don't know if they're armed and going somewhere to kill every fucking body. What? Can you give me some insight into white dudes? Because I'm not understanding it. Why do they always want to kill everybody?
I don't know. I haven't really run across anybody that said they wanted to kill everybody, but I might be running in a different circle. I'm not sure. Did somebody say that?
White people have been extra violent this year. You had the shooting down there in Florida,
right?
You had the shooting at the Waffle House. Mm-hmm. What other shooting? We had a shooting down here in Montgomery, in out here by me in Maryland. You just had the shooting yesterday, a day before yesterday, out in Montgomery County, Maryland, where the dude went and shot up. Why white guys? See, this is the thing. People keep wanting to talk about Chicago and the violence in Chicago. Let's talk about the violence among white males. Mm-hmm. Can we have a town hall meeting on why y'all so fucked up and feel like y'all got to kill every fucking body? See, I know white women and y'all on y'all feminist shit, and that's cool. I can understand y'all, but y'all got the real in these crazy motherfuckers because they're crazy.
What do you mean? Okay. What do you mean the feminists? What is that? What did you say?
I'm saying feminists want their rights, their equal rights with men. I get that.
Right.
That's not the shit y'all need to be worried about right now. Y'all need to reel in these super predators, these white motherfuckers, these white males.
A super predator. Who gonna do that? I don't want to do that.
Y'all either breeding these motherfuckers, y'all making them in your houses. White guys
have been in houses.
Huh?
They're making them in houses?
I don't know where the fuck they making them. White dudes today I mean, they've already been historically a little violent, but they
obviously.
They turning this shit up a notch as of late.
There's many on my Facebook friends page, which, you know, if they know who I'm talking about, they'll say I feel that they
Fat Richie violence?
Huh?
Fat Richie violence?
White dudes that just every post is about guns and gun rights, and I'm like, are you actually like having intercourse with that gun every night, or like what are you doing? Are you just taking it out for a ride?
It gives them a sense of power. It gives them a sense of power, you know. Like me personally. Let me just tell you my story. I am a convicted felon.
Oh.
I'm sitting here maintaining my innocence. I was innocent, but of course, going through the criminal justice system as an African American,
don't even get me started. See, that's a lot.
That don't mean shit. If you go in and I refuse to plead guilty to some shit that I didn't do. I was found guilty. I don't have a right to own a gun. A lot of African American men are, have had some kind of contact with the criminal justice system, so they can't own guns. So it puts us at a disadvantage. But you got these white dudes who, like the dude in Las Vegas, he was in the law with 50-something guns.
Yeah.
These 50-something guns.
That guy who needed to do whatever that was, but do you think that was just him? See, we get into we need to make a list of the different things we're going to talk about because we could get into
because you're the resident white person on my show right now, and I feel like you should be able to have these answers for me. And
my answer is he's crazy as fuck. I do believe that it wasn't just him. I have to believe that something else was behind that for him to have that many guns in that room. But I don't know. He could have just been fucking crazy. And he don't like country music. I mean, I don't like country music. But I'm not gonna go shoot up a fucking...
set him off.
I do think that's possible. Not that that's his fault, but I'm just saying, like, I don't like country music. So if I was crazy, I might go. Who knows? Did he not like Kenny Chesney? Did he not like his fan base? Did he not? Or is this just that's what I'm saying. Like, we're in mayhem. We're not going to get the answers. 100 years from now, I think people still going to be sitting here doing the same shit me and you are doing right now because people are just fucking crazy. And now it's easier for people to be crazy. Is there anybody that wanted
to join in on this conversation? Because
is anybody watching?
Is there anybody white? I'm looking for somebody white. Ask some of your white friends. And what is this new thing? Yes, I want to know. I want to know what's this new thing of, and I understand it. Like, I understand it to a degree, but what is this new calling the police on black people? Significant shit. There's something that just happened.
We just had this whole thing happen here where I live. This woman got stopped. She was a black woman. She got stopped by the police here. And she filmed the whole thing. Well, no. She, once this traffic stop was over, she filmed herself crying, going down the road saying that she felt that she got targeted because she was black. And she was going 70 in a 55. She got a ticket, but she said that the cop threatened to pull her out of the car if she didn't sign the ticket. And so she got on her phone doing a Facebook Live and was like, he said he was going to pull me out of the car. And then she threw a lot of historical references in, like she was showing like the landscape, which is basically nothing where I live. And she was like, this is where they lynched people. This is where they hung people. This is, blah, blah. And then she put it on Facebook and she started tagging she put the officer's name. She started tagging the news stations. And then it just became this shit show. And so the other night on the news, they showed the vest cam, but they only showed part of it on the news. In the part that I saw, he was not racist toward her or anything like that. But people were going on her personal Facebook page and also her business Facebook page and just bashing her and calling her a race baiter. But my point was once you watched the video cam from the police officer's car, she said, what if I do not sign this? And he said, well, then I will get you out of this car and we will go in front of the magistrate. Now, when she told her story, she said he would drag her out of the car. So there's been this whole thing about that she tried to make him into a racist, and and they're saying he only said he would get her out of the car. But as a black person, I feel that if a police officer says to you, I will get you out of this car, that would be scary to me. I mean, if they said that to me, I'd kind of be freaked out. But what do you think? I have a hard time believing, even in the climate we're in, that she would go that far to accuse him of something that he didn't do. So did she, that's just a matter of words, that I will get you out of the car.
It's a matter of, because she may have heard one thing.
Right.
He may have said another.
Right.
But what people have to understand is the context.
There we go.
Our relationship, the white community's relationship with the police department, and the black community's relationship with the police department is historically different.
Right.
And once you understand that it's historically different, we're a little bit insecure and jumpy and edgy when we deal with the police. The police are when you're dealing in the white community, the police officers are your neighbors. There's John that lives across the street, Officer John. Mm-hmm. They coach your kid's softball game. They, help old ladies out across the street and get kittens out of the tree. Mm-hmm. What it feels like the police are in the African American community is like an occupying force. So when we think of shit like Iraq, it's like if Russia was to roll tanks through American neighborhoods, as if, Soviet MiGs were flying over American airspace, as if Soviet soldiers were on the street corners with rifles and checkpoints. That is the equivalent somewhat to the relationship that black people have historically with the police. We don't have a good relationship with the police. We just don't.
Right, and that's what I was trying to tell people.
Street.
Because they kept going on her Facebook business page and giving her 1-star reviews and just calling her a race baiter and stuff like that. And I was like, but y'all are kind of proving her point. Like, she feels, okay, perception is reality a lot of the time. And if the police told her he was going to get her out of the vehicle, which, let me say, I don't know. I wasn't there. I just saw the video, but
it's a threat. It's a threat to escalate the situation.
I feel that it was a threat, and she got very scared. And in the moment, which we have done, we all know, is in the moment we get on Facebook and vent about it. And I don't think that she thought it was going to go as big as it did. I don't know. All I was trying to explain to people was that you have to understand that as a black woman on this road where all you see is trees, and this police officer said he was going to get you out of the car, that would be scary to me.
Well, see, what you have to understand is those type of people, you're not going to be able to change their mindset, period.
But it's a whole lot. It's so frustrating. And
it's frustrating, especially when you're a white woman who don't think that way. White people who are listening, let me just help you all out, so you can understand the nature of the relationship between black people and the police. When a soldier goes off to war and he's in Afghanistan and he has to keep his head on a swivel because there's snipers out there, there are people with roadside bombs, IEDs, suicide vests. He got to keep his head on a swivel. And the guy he went to boot camp with, and he went to infantry school with, he spent 6 weeks of Army boot camp and maybe 4 weeks of AIT and infantry school, and he gets shipped over to Iraq. He hasn't even known this dude a good 6 months. And he's over there, and this guy gets on a patrol, he gets his head blown off. And then another dude he went to boot camp with, or he went to AIT with, who he only known for 4 weeks. He goes and he gets killed by IED. Eventually,
IUD.
Seeing all this IED, not IUD.
I thought you said
I know motherfucker got killed by a couple of IUDs.
If you said that, I don't know. That's what I heard, but go ahead.
IEDs. So eventually, over and over and over and over again, this dude will contract or exhibit what we call post-traumatic stress syndrome, right? PTSD. Yeah. Post-traumatic stress disorder, right? Mm-hmm. Well, this is the name. This you have to look at Black people in the context of we didn't watch Mike Brown. Some people watch Mike Brown and their community get shot. We watched. We heard about Trayvon Martin.
I know Trayvon. It's so sad. I know the name Mike Brown, but I can't remember.
Mike Brown is the one that happened in Ferguson, Missouri.
Okay.
Walking in the street, he was supposedly had assaulted somebody.
Did he have the cigarettes, the loose cigarettes?
No. That was Eric Garner. Eric Garner was the one that was choked to death. Okay. We watched that on video. Mm-hmm. We watched Michael Slager shoot Walter Scott in the back, running away from him, no threat. Mm-hmm. We watched Laquan McDonald in Chicago walking away from a police officer. The police officer emptied his gun on 10 times, and he's on the ground. I don't know if he reloaded, put another clip in, shot him 6 or 7 more times while he's immobile on the ground. Just shot him in cold blood. And the city of Chicago covered it up for a year before they released the video and charged this guy with murder. We watched the young man in Ohio, the little boy in Ohio. His name escapes me right now.
He had a toy gun?
He had a toy gun in an open carry state. Car rolls up, police car shoots him immediately in the stomach, killed him. We saw in Detroit where the young girl was laying on her grandmother's couch. The police kick in the wrong door, shoot this young girl. She's about 11 years old, laying on her grandmother's couch, sleep. We see Rakia Boyd in Chicago who's walking down the street, and the police officer claimed that somebody shot at him. They didn't find no guns. They didn't find no cases. He fired into a crowd of people. Hit her in the head. These officers, with the exception of Michael Slager in South Carolina, we watched the police time and time again, even in Oklahoma, where the man was having problems with his truck and he ended up getting shot by the female police officer. We saw this time and time again, Black people getting killed, and we have post-traumatic stress disorder. And every time, in every situation, we always see there's a segment of white people who always tell us how it's our fault.
Yeah, but if you've seen all of that, and you get stopped, all of that. I mean, I've seen
all of that comes to the forefront. Once all you can associate with is when the police stop you. It's a Black people and our experience. When a police officer stops us, a police officer is the most powerful person. He can lock you up. He can let you go. He can stop you. He can interrupt what you're doing. He can fucking shoot you and get away.
I remember when you said, why do y'all always fall? Why do white people always fall into horror movies? Because why is your balance so bad? And I was like, I mean, I don't know. You've never fallen. You were like, I don't fall when the police are chasing me.
Right. Why would I fall when I'm running from the police?
Right.
Because I encounter as a Black male, particularly a Black male, with the police, we know potentially can be deadly. Because
that's what I was trying to tell people. I do not think that the police officer here, from what I saw from the dash cam footage, see, that's what makes this so strange to me. Because from his dash cam footage, from his best footage, I saw nothing that was racial in tone. Okay, he could have been a little bit more not condescending. There was a few things he said that would have pissed me off as a white person. But he didn't say anything that I thought could have been racial. And I watched it. And I watched her part. And she had a little bit of an attitude. But, hey, I've had a little bit of an attitude when I've gotten pulled before, too.
Right.
But where in her brain did it compute that she needed to get on Facebook Live and be very, very upset about the racial injustice? And I believe that it's because of everything that you see and all the Black people that have been shot and hurt by the police. She was scared. It's not like she went out of her way to try to just create this big shitstorm. She was fucking scared. And plus I have to add that this woman is not, she's she's known. She's like a motivational speaker. You know, she's got like a Facebook business page. She's been invited places to speak. She's well educated. She's very good with the way that she speaks and everything. So what I'm saying is like, what would cause her to get on Facebook and do that? There had to have been a legit fear that struck her to make her do that.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a legit fear, and it's something that's ingrained.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like she wasn't trying to create this big shitstorm for where we live. She was legit scared. And
right.
That's
well, see, here's the thing. In the white community, you all are taught to go to the police officer. The police officers they're problem solvers, and the police officers behave like problem solvers in white communities to white people. But in the black community, our thing is we have to solve our problems in-house and make calling the police the last possible resort, because our experience, this is not something that's happening in a vacuum. Black people just didn't wake up one day and decide that dealing with the police officers is a bad thing. This is just something that's historical with us. And I need those people that are on the fence, because the people that are on the other side of the fence, you're not going to convince them. They're police apologists. They're going to always see the police officer in the right. And black people won't, except when there's a situation like it was in Minnesota, where there was that black Somali Muslim police officer shot that white Australian woman. Nobody asked, what was she doing? Nobody said, we don't know the whole story. Nobody says that.
I hadn't even seen that, so I'm gonna have to look that up.
Well, there's no video of it, but I'll tell you what happened in short. There was some noise. I believe she called the police. The police car pulled up. It was dark. I guess it was in a community that they were scared of. She banged on the trunk of the car. Or she banged on the car. I guess to get the officers. She's Australian. She don't fucking know. And he reached across his partner and shot her.
What the fuck?
What the fuck is right? But see,
what makes you just that's your first instinct? But I would think that as a trained officer, that wouldn't be your first instinct.
That's bad police training. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is when Mike Brown was killed, we looked into his background.
Mm-hmm. They didn't look at her.
Trayvon Martin was killed, they tried to find pictures of him and said that he was
looking like a thug
from school. When Eric Garner was choked to death, they said that he shouldn't have been selling loose cigarettes. When Walter Slager was walking, they said that he hadn't paid. He was behind in child support. Nobody victimized this woman, and nobody said we need to wait to all the facts. They said, no, this black motherfucker shot her. He got to go. We'll figure it out later. We need to lock his ass up now. We'll have the trial down the road, but he needs to be charged with murder. So please understand, not you, but white people that are watching, that our history with the police has been completely different. A lot of people saying that the first police department were slave patrols. That's where the term police comes from. It was a slave patrol. I'm gonna see you a picture of the badge. There's a badge from the Louisiana police. They acted as slave patrol. Their job was to stop slaves from running off of the plantation and going and capturing slaves and bringing them back to the plantation. That was the original role of the police, because if you know anything about American law enforcement, we had sheriffs. Sheriffs on the state level and county level, and marshals on the federal level. There were no police. The police served as the slave patrols. So if you have an organization that is rooted in the mistreatment of people with dark skin, that is going to be embedded in that department moving forward. So when you are a white person and the first thing you do is in a situation where a young boy is in the park where they have open carry, he's 11 years old, and you say, oh, he looked like he was 18. Don't no fucking 11-year-olds look like 18s, like they're 18. And if he's in the park by himself and someone called and said that it looked like it's probably a toy gun, and you get this dickhead officer that pulls up and shoots him right away, who shouldn't have been on department in the first place, and shoots him in his stomach, yeah, he was charged. He was tried. He was found not guilty. He was fired eventually, but that's not gonna bring that boy's look. White America. Let me just ask you this: what do you want black people to do? Not what do you want us to do, but what are you pushing us to do? Because black people are marching, they're stopping traffic, they're boycotting, they're talking to their elected officials, and the bullets ain't stop. Mm-hmm. So eventually, what is it that you're trying to push us to do? You have to, if you abuse a dog, you might start out feeding him and letting him come in at night out the cold. But eventually, if you start abusing him, yeah, he gonna cower in the corner. But eventually, he's gonna bite your fucking ass. You can beat him, you can kick him, you can mistreat him, but his natural instinct to defend himself is going to kick in. Is that what y'all want? Do y'all want that smoke? Because y'all got us outnumbered. Great, we know that. But our will to defend ourselves might be bigger than you all's desire to oppress. So I'm just simply saying, when you all are getting upset at black people complaining about shit like police brutality, it's some shit that we live with every day.
Well, I didn't get upset with her. I felt that the whole thing was just unfortunate on both sides, because I didn't see where he was. He didn't do any of the. I did not see that he did anything that she accused him of. But there was that one sentence: "If I don't sign this ticket, what are you going to do?" He said something about, "I will get you out of this car." But in her moment, did she hear something when he said, "I will get you out of this car"? What does that mean? You know what I mean?
If it would have been Jen Dent, if it would have been an Amy, or if it would have been a Greta, what he would have done was he would have been more professional.
Well, I have to ask you we'll go in front of the magistrate. We can go together to the magistrate. Yeah.
Situation, because what he does not want to do is have to explain to his boss why his buddy on the bowling team, his wife, or the nurse that works at the hospital that put the splint on his son's broken arm. He don't want to have to fucking explain why something so insignificant as a traffic ticket escalated to him pulling that white woman out of the car, manhandling her, and locking her in jail. So he got better sense. But when he knows that, and this is not you, but when he knows that, and this is me looking at you all, you white people that claim you don't understand, but you know what human decency is. When he knows it's a motherfucker like you on the internet that's going to defend his actions and is going to always find a way to say that the person who he locked up, or the person that he shot because he feared for his life and he thought that that person's cell phone was a fucking gun, and he know your dickhead ass is just going to say, well, why don't you just comply? When he knows it's a motherfucker like you that's going to defend him, then this shit is going to continue to happen. And then again, you have to ask yourself, if you keep abusing a dog, will that dog eventually bite you? Do you want to be bit in the ass? So as far as that's concerned, let's just, because again, we do have to put some format to this shit. And
yeah, I have somebody coming over, so when he gets here, we'll have to go.
You getting laid tonight?
I can't say.
Jen, you fucking? I'm thinking last time we had a conversation when we was talking, and we was like, I think whatever it was, he was like, I'm not having sex with anyone. I'm not. You fucking now?
No, I'm not.
But he coming over. It's almost 10:30. Well, he's not coming over. He coming over to clean the pipes, huh?
No, it's just my friend. It is literally my friend.
Your friend that you let come over late at night?
Yeah, but I mean,
you put the good sheets on the bed, huh?
I did wash the sheets today, but only because I knew he was coming. He's supposed to come tomorrow, but he's coming tonight.
He's staying tonight?
Literally, if you knew who I was talking about, you would know it ain't like that. You don't know him.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, well, who the fuck is that? She getting some dick. That's good.
No, I am not.
That is
I mean, I'm not saying that I wouldn't, but I'm not.
You're not saying that you wouldn't, but you're not. So you're not. So, well, you ain't got no inside, so it ain't like you gonna have a period or some shit.
I ain't got no insides.
Pretty much gutted your motherfucking ass out.
Your anatomy. Just because you have a hysterectomy doesn't mean you ain't got no inside.
Well, shit. I mean, I don't have that, so I don't have to worry about that type of shit. I just thought that when they gut you out, when they,
gut you out,
when they stick their hook up in there and they snatch all that shit out.
Hook. Oh my god!
It's not a hook.
No,
I thought they just go in there and hook and just snatch all the shit out.
You have got to be kidding. You did not think that.
I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not that educated. I'm not, I got GED, you know that.
Well, that's not a hook.
Oh, okay.
Not a hook.
Wet vac?
Might be a wet vac. I don't know. It's not. It's a whole lot involved.
Okay, so me and Jen, I'll probably be doing, I'm going to be doing this podcast probably daily because, I think fucked up shit. But we're going to probably have to do this again and have more of a format. You white friends, I know you all.
It out. Yeah, we need to format it.
You all are going to. Hey, look, Jen can ask me these questions and I can answer them as best as possible. But
I think we should do it both ways because I think I honestly don't know what I can do right or wrong. So just tell me.
But it's not about. It's not. You have to take it one step at a time. You got to make sure that you're not fucked up. That's one less fucked up white person in the world.
I mean, I try not to be fucked up. I mean, most of my clients are black, so I try not to be fucked up.
And you have to understand that, just be true.
And I go in their houses and I see where they live and I see what they have and they don't have. And I see that shit.
So
and it ain't pretty.
Yeah, it's we're gonna do this again. I mean, Jen is probably the only white person that I can have this conversation with. I was hoping some other white people may have possibly joined in on this conversation.
Well, it was last minute notice. If I had more notice, more people would have.
Well, we'll have another show next week, and you all can forward all your concerns and shit to Jen. I'm pretty sure she's gonna promote the fuck out of this.
Yeah, I'll start putting in if we can pick like one night a week that we'll do it. Okay. Then I'll start promoting it in my videos, and they'll come watch it.
Okay.
I hope they would.
Because white people, you can learn some things. I'm not complete. No, black people know everything already.
I know.
White people y'all need to learn some shit.
I mean, I would say that was a lie, but obviously back in the past, we used to just pass our babies off to y'all and be like breastfeed them and shit and just deal with that shit. So,
right. What's funny is a lot of white people don't know that.
It's actually true.
They don't fucking know that black women used to breastfeed. They used to take the breast from their own breast that was for their own babies and give them to white babies because not only was white women not able, because y'all got little titties, and our breast milk, because we're such physically superior beings, we would give you all our breast milk to make your babies healthy and strong. Yeah. A lot of white people don't know that.
Those pictures actually make me a little nauseous. And it's not because of the way that the women look, but it's just the whole idea behind it is gross.
Well, I mean, people drink milk. I mean,
milk
is gross. I mean, cows.
Yeah, but it's the look on the woman's face. She's just like, look what they're doing. And that baby's like, oh, this is the best milk I ever had. And I'm like, this is all fucked up. Like this whole situation.
On the next episode, this is how I'm gonna get people. We gotta promise white people we're gonna get them the recipe to our fried chicken.
Holy shit, I'm tuning in.
If we promise them the recipe to our fried chicken, they will fucking tune in.
I will be here 30 minutes early.
All right, this is TJ. This is Jen Dent on the Streets of Talking podcast.
I'll share the link when we're done.
We're gonna sign out. We're gonna continue to talk, but y'all not gonna see it. And
oh, we're gonna continue to talk?
Yeah, we're gonna continue to talk.
Okay, I gotta get another glass of wine.
Because nobody needs to know what I'm about to say to you now, especially about this fucking visitor you're about to get.
Trust me, it is not like that.
We got to have a birds and bees talk out there.
He's 6'5".
I know that pussy ain't seen nothing in it in a minute.
Hold on. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.